Welcome to Status of the Nation. It's your girl Malibu. This video it's gonna be a little different. So this video, it's not gonna be like the other one where I was talking about different topics. This one I really just wanted to hone in on the actual status of the nation and talk about what's been going on in our country. I remember I was talking to a friend of mine a couple of weeks ago, and I likened our country to a person. Democracy was 1994, it's 2016. So if you liken it to a person, it's a 22-year-old, And I was telling my friend, I'm like, think about our country that way as a 22-year-old. Now, if you were to take it now to other 22-year-olds that we have, and you think about it like that, you're like, okay, a 22-year-old guy or girl, they're at the point in their life now where they're trying to figure stuff out, they're trying to figure themselves out and trying to see where to go, what to do, and all of that. But how they, in my opinion, come out on the other end is when they've got a great support around them, when they've got great parents, great friends, aunts and uncles, and all of those people around them actually helping them reach their goals and be the person that they want to be. And I thought the same about our country. I'm like, a lot has been going on in our country where I feel like as a 22-year-old, no one is really looking out for this 22-year-old. I almost feel like mom and dad are out there, fighting for themselves. Aunts and uncles are doing their own thing. Cousins are minding their own business. And no one is really looking out for this 22-year-old. And I remember it was a couple of weeks ago, a ruling party, they were launching a manifesto in one of the stadiums. And I remember on Twitter, it became like hot topic, everyone was waiting for the stadium to fill up, and as it was getting to be filled up or whatever it is that was going on, because really no one cares for the truth if the lies were entertaining, and it became a whole thing of, oh, they can't even fill up the stadium, and it became a trending topic. Ooh, fill up the stadium, the memes were flying, everyone was doing the most. And I remember I was looking at it, and then I started to see some of the political parties also chiming in, like, ooh, by X amount of times when it was our turn, our stadium was full. Like, a lot of that was going on. And I remember I stepped back and I thought about it. I'm like, I realize now no one really has the best interest of this country at heart. Everyone might say that, even these different parties might say that they have but they really don't. Because my thing is, everybody is looking for when it's their turn. Everybody's eager for when is it going to be my turn for me to be in charge and do whatever it is that I want to do. Because my thing is, if the heart was really for the best interest of the country, then all of these other extra petty, spicy things wouldn't be happening as much. Because I almost feel like, their responsibility is to the country and to actually make sure that the country is moving forward. Because I was even saying to my friend, I'm like, at the end of the day, you have to wonder, these leaders of various political parties, like, what type of people are they going to have left to lead? What's going to be the state of the nation by the time it's their turn to lead? Because now it's all good and well, and you're not adding anything positive to what's going on. You're just chiming in, and because you're a leader, in your chiming in, you're sort of guiding people to be thinking along that way, that no one is thinking now about the greater good of the country. People are thinking about the greater good of themselves and their party. And for me, that's the problem. Our 22-year-old is just standing there trying to figure things out, and no one is around to help because everyone is looking out for themselves and their own gain. It's almost like those child stars where mom and dad just like shoves them on the front of the team, and they're like, dance my little puppet, and this kid is trying to do the best that they can, but mom and dad aren't really caring about this child. They just want to get what they want to get for themselves. And for me, that's really where my heart is at. When I look at the status of the nation, I'm like, I don't see who really has the best interest of our country at heart. If it's not a leader saying that they're not gonna, pay this and this, and then they, liken it to something that was so hurtful in our country, I'm like, already that sort of shows me the type of leader that you are, that if you're struggling with something this small, who's to say about anything else? Because it shows that your heart is not for the country. Because if your heart was for the country, it's not dependent on what that other person is doing. It's dependent on saying, you know what, guys, this is the good of the country. This is what the country needs, and this is how we move it forward. The conversations and the things that our leaders are saying, I sit back and I'm like, you really don't have, the best interest of this country at heart. You might say you do, but you don't. And I think the one thing that they all need to ask themselves is, what type of people are they going to have left to lead? It's all good and well now when you're not the one leading or in like the majority or whatever, but the day that you do get there, whenever that might be, what type of people are you going to have left to lead? Because when you were still outside, you should have been caring about the country when you were outside. but you were caring about your party, you were caring about your allegiance and your affiliations and your own opinions and your own manifesto, instead of saying, okay, but what does the country actually need? And in a way that is positive, like positive reinforcement, to be like, okay, let's do this. No one is saying that. Everybody's just ready to get into the mud, and everybody's just slinging mud. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, really, this is it? So it almost sort of like, you know, it pains me a little bit when I look at our democracy, our 22-year-old, and I'm like, bruh, I don't know. I honestly don't know, because the people who are there are thinking about themselves. And I think ultimately we need to be a people who go back to having this country be our first love, regardless of whatever your political affiliations may be. Let this country be your first love. Let the people of this country be your first love. Let you leading in excellence be your first love. You know, not hiding behind party lines and everyone is just flinging mud backward and forward because we're not accomplishing anything. Go back to having this country as your first love. And I think when we start from there, even us as citizens, when we start from there, I think we'll be moving towards a better society, and our 22-year-old will start to have the support that they need to grow into a full-fledged proper adult. Because for as long as we're doing this, you have to wonder what it will look like 5, 6, 7, 8 years from now. So yeah, that's really my take on the status of the nation where we're at. But you guys let me know what you think. Like, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching.